Hello everyone, this is Dr. Geeta Nayak Vislawat, Assistant Professor of Public Administration, working at Government Degree College, Hayatnagar. Today we are going to discuss the most important topic, Controller and Auditor General of India. This topic is present in BA second year, third semester syllabus under Public Administration subject, fourth unit, Constitution Bodies. In this topic, we are going to discuss who is Comptroller and Auditor General of India, under what constitutional articles his powers and duties are explained, and how he is important for controlling finances of India, and why he is called as friend, philosopher, and guide to Public Accounts Committee. And in recent time, uh, the role of Comptroller and Auditor General is once again in the issue of Supreme Court regarding PM CARES case. So, coming to the class, in the next slide, Comptroller and Auditor General of India plays a very important role in the government audit. As you all know, the name itself explains Auditor General of India. Means the he is the person who audits all the accounts of India and all government, private, most of the some of the private accounts and government accounts. So, the Comptroller and Auditor General Act was passed by Parliament in the year 1971 and it was amended in the year 1976. Lays down duties and rights of COG. This amendment and this act lays down the duties of Comptroller and Auditor General of India. The accounts of the union and state governments shall be kept in such a form as the president may on the advice of COG. So he advises the president and he plays very important role in accounts and audit of India. So the Constitution of India under Article 148 provides for an independent office of Comptroller and Auditor General of India. He is the head of the Indian Audit and Accounts Department, and he is the guidance of the public guardian to the public purse and controls the entire financial system of country at both the levels. So entire financial system of country at both the levels means at central level and state level, he controls. He regarded as a public purse of India. He is the guardian of public purse of India. So at the same time, uh, his duty is to uphold the Constitution of India and laws of Parliament in the field of financial administration. So then only Ambedkar said that COG shall be the most important officer under the Constitution of India. Appointment and term. As usual, he is also appointed by President of India. Comptroller and Auditor General is a constitutional body, and so it is mainly appointed by President of India. Comptroller and Auditor General is appointed by President of India by warrant under his hand and seal. Before taking over his office, makes a subscribes before the President an oath or affirmation. What this oath contains: to bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India, to uphold the sovereignty and integrity of India, to duly and faithfully and to the best of his ability, knowledge and judgment, perform the duties of his office without fear or favor, affection or ill will, and to uphold the Constitution and the laws. So, as usual, his tenure is 6 years or 65 years, whichever comes earlier. and he can resign at any time from his office by addressing his resignation to president. So here you observe the appointing authority is president, and the resignation will be given to president, and removing authority also president, removed by the parliament president on the same grounds and the same manner as the judge of Supreme Court. So as judge of Supreme Court, how he um, uh, removed, in the same manner the CAG is removed from his office as just like Supreme Court judge. So Supreme Court, just like Supreme Court judge, he is removed on misbehavior. In other words, he can be removed by the president on the basis of resolution passed to the effect by the both houses of parliament with special majority, either on the grounds of provided misbehavior on incapacity. So just now I told you, on the basis of his misbehavior or on the basis of his incapacity, he can be removed as just like the manner how judge of Supreme Court removes, and just like the parliament, the house of parliament with special majority, resolution passed by the house of parliament with special majority, then president removes him from his place. Next, independence. He is provided with the security of tenure. He can be removed by the president only in accordance with the procedure mentioned in the constitution. So he can be removed by the president only with procedure. The removal process of CAG is having some procedure. On the basis of that procedure only, he can be removed. Thus, he does not hold his office till the pleasure of president, through he is appointed by him. He is not eligible for further office either under the government of India or of any state after he ceases to hold his office. His salary and other service conditions are determined by Parliament. His salary is equal to that of Judge of Supreme Court. Neither his salary nor his rights in respect of leave of absence, pension, or age of retirement can be altered to his disadvantage after his appointment. So once his appointment is done, his available facilities or available salary allowances cannot be changed. The conditions of service of person serving in the Indian Audit and Accounts Department and the administrative power of CAG are prescribed by the President after consulting with CAG. The administrative expenses of Office of the Comptroller and Auditor General, including all salaries, allowances, and pensions of the persons serving that office, are charged upon the Consolidated Fund of India. And one interesting thing is, no minister or ministry can represent CAG. So, he is directly under the purview of President. His duties and powers. And the Constitution of Article 149 authorizes the Parliament to prescribe the duties and powers of Comptroller and Auditor General in relation to the accounts of the Union and of the states and of any other authority or body. So, according to 1971 Act and 1976 Act, so he got some duties and powers. Those are, he audits the accounts of Consolidated Fund of India, Consolidated Fund of States, Union Territories. Here you understand the Union Territories which are having a legislative assembly, just like legislative assembly to Delhi. So like that, legislative assembly, then those union territories funds, he audits. He audits all the expenditures from the contingency fund of India and the public accounts of India, as well as the contingency fund of each state and the public accounts of each state. He audits all the trading, manufacturing, profit and loss accounts, balance sheets, and other subsidy accounts kept by any department of the central government and state governments. He audits the receipts and expenditures of the central and each state to satisfy himself that the rules and procedures in that behalf are designed to secure the effective check on the assessment, collection, and proper allocation of the revenue. He audits the receipts and expenditures of the following: all the bodies and authorities substantially financed from the central or state revenues, government companies, and other corporations and bodies when so required by the related laws. He can audit all transactions of the central and state governments related to debt, sinking fund, deposits, advances, suspense accounts, and remittance businesses. He also audits receipts, stock accounts, and other with approval of president. He audits the accounts of he audits the accounts of any other authority when required by the president or governor. For example, the audit of local bodies. He advises the president with regard to the prescription of the form in which the accounts of the central and state shall be kept. He submits his audit report related to the accounts of the central president, accounts to the central president, and the audits of the state to the governor. And these two the reports are kept in the central audit reports are placed before parliament by president, and the state audit reports are placed before state legislative by governor. He assets and certifies the net proceeds of any tax or duty. According to 279, his certification is final, and he acts as guide, friend, and philosopher of public accounts committee, because on the basis of the report given by comptroller and auditor general, the public account committee starts his working. So he is called as guide, friend, and philosopher of public accounts committee, and he is also called as extra ears and eyes to public accounts committee of the parliament. He compiles and maintains the accounts of governments, state governments especially. And the audit reports are three types. He submits three types of audit reports to president. One is audit report on appreciation accounts, audit report on finance accounts, audit report on public undertakings. Comptroller and Auditor General and corporations. The Comptroller and Auditor General audits some of the corporations. Totally, some of the corporations are audited by Comptroller and Auditor General. Example, Air India, Indian Airlines, Damodar Valley Corporation, Oil and Natural Gas Corporations, etc. And some corporations, after consultation with COG, central government allots private auditors to some of the corporations, and COG can conduct supplementary audit on them. If COG is not satisfied with the audit report of private auditors, then he can do supplementary audit on those corporations. For example, Central Warehousing Corporation, Industrial Finance Corporation, etc. And some of the corporations are like that. They are totally audited by private organization, no role of controller and auditor general. And these auditors, private auditors, directly send their account and audit details to parliament directly. So these are some of the different types of auditing structures and the role of Comptroller and Auditor General. Comptroller and Auditor General is a agent of Parliament, so he is responsible only to the Parliament. And COG can look into the wisdom, faithfulness, and economy of the government expenditure and comments on the wastefulness and extravagance of such expenditure. However, unlike the legal and regulatory audit, which is obligatory on the part of COG, the priority audit is discretionary. According to the Constitution of India, visualizes the COG to be Comptroller and Auditor General. Actually, Indian Constitution explains he is the Comptroller and Auditor General, but in reality, the COG is fulfilling the role of Auditor General only, not that of Comptroller. In other words, the COG has no control over the issue of money from the consolidated fund, and many departments are authorized to draw money by issuing checks without specific authority from the COG, who is concerned only at the audit stage when the expenditure has already taken place. In this respect, COG of India is differ totally from COG of Britain, who has the power of both Comptroller as well as Auditor General. In other words, the executive can draw money from the public exchequer only with the approval of the COG. So, in this way, the COG of Britain and India are different. So, here in India, Comptroller role is totally removed. Only auditor role is played by COG. If you have any doubts, please contact 9849373729. Thank you.